Hey guys, and welcome to the Lazy Lemon Creations podcast. My name is Lindsay. You can follow me on Instagram at Lazy Lemon Creations, and you can see me on Ravelry as Lazy Lemon. This is my podcast all about the crafty things I get up to, such as knitting, crochet, cross stitch, or diamond painting, which today it's just knitting. So yeah, not much to show, but that's okay. I live in the heart of the New River Valley with my husband and our 2 kids. They are all upstairs right now playing. It is Thursday, June 20th. I had to think for a second. And it's 12:30 in the afternoon. We just finished lunch, and so they're all upstairs. So I'm going to go ahead and get this podcast pulled out. So let's jump onto it. If you want to support the podcast, you can follow the Ko-Fi link that's down below, along with anything that I talk about. The description or a link to a shop will also be down below in the description box. So you can click on more and you can find all that information there. Let's jump in. So last episode was June 6th, I want to say, and I didn't talk about my May stats. So let's go ahead and talk about that, even though June is literally almost over, but I don't care. I want to talk about it, and I can. So if you're new here, thank you for watching the podcast. I have had quite a few subscribers join in since my last episode, so thank you so very much. Normally I'm about every 2 weeks with my episodes, but sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. So for May, I had grams in of only 125 grams. It was my Freckled Whimsy Halloween Club, and the grams out was 1,448 grams thanks to the baby blanket that I made for my niece. So I am doing great because of May. I'm pretty sure, yeah, in January I was negative because I had more in than out. February I was okay. March I had more in than out. And April I had a lot in versus nothing out, basically. So I actually don't know where I stand year to date as far as the balance between grams in and grams out. I will calculate that at the end of the year because I don't want to get discouraged right now. So far for June I only have 2 finished objects, but that's okay because there's still time left in the month. Speaking of finished objects, I only have one today to show. And it wasn't even a whip on the last episode, so you haven't seen it at all unless you follow me on Instagram, and then you saw it when I posted it as an FO. Here we go. I really hope that the YouTube gods make this the, screenshot caption or whatever, because most of the time it's just me sitting here looking like a goof, but that's just who I am, so I really don't care. This yarn was It's My Party by Freckled Whimsy in her Serendipity base. It says 75/25, and it's the rainbow, or it is a rainbow. It's not the rainbow, it is a rainbow. It was one of her extras that she had because It's My Party was actually one of her Yarn of the Month club colorways, and this was an extra, so I went ahead and grabbed it. And for my socks, I do Vanilla Socks on Magic Loop by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. That's the pattern that I follow for my socks. I do 64 stitches. I do a 20 row cuff of 2x2. I do a 30 row leg. Then I do my heel flap and gusset, and then I do the foot and toe. And that is my sock recipe. That will always probably be my sock recipe. It's what I like, it's what I love, it's what fits my foot. So yeah, I've done an afterthought heel. I've done longer legs. I have done shorter legs as well, but this is what I like the most of where it comes up on my foot. It just barely covers my tattoo, and I like it. I like it. This is my one and only FO that I have today. The colors do not match. They're not twins. They're just sisters. They're not twins. Like right there is where the color matches. And so I had that much difference from each sock, which is not that big of a deal. I really enjoyed it. These were 54 grams, and I still have, I think I had 51 grams left of the ball. So again, if I did contrast cuffs and toes, I could make a whole nother pair of socks, which I've decided I'm going to do. Hold on a second, guys. I had my Starbucks today. My husband graciously brought that to me. So I have decided that I am going to knit 2 pairs of socks with my leftover yarns because it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me to have 2 pairs that are identical. It's no different than having a pack of all the same socks anyway from the store. So I decided, you know, adding a little pop of color at the cuff and at the toes to just make the yarn stretch a little bit farther. Why not? I'm absolutely gonna do it. So I do have all of my yarn from Summer Sock Camp so far in this bag. My socks that I've made so far. All the leftovers and the labels, I've got them all caked up here still, and they're all wrapped in a rubber band. And when I get to it, when I finish the first round of socks for Summer Sock Camp, I'll go back and I'll do more if I want to. It's completely up to me, and I have no time crunch for them. There's nothing that says I have to do them right away. So yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy the yarn and make as many socks as I can out of it, because there's no rules when it comes to my knitting, and I do what I want. Those socks, the It's My Party Socks by Freckled Whimsy, I had started those on June 7th, and I had finished those on June 18th. And then the next, that was my one and only FO. So the next thing that I have is a whip. It is in my Knick Knack Knits Co. Knick Knack Knits Co. Yeah, there we go. Bag. Last time I only had the one sock done. I still haven't woven in the ends. I told you guys I don't like to do it. They are woven in on this sock though. You can see. Right there. See? You can see where I wove it in. I don't care. Last time I just had the one sock done. This time though, I have most of the second sock. So this is the second sock that I have. I've already done the heel flap and gusset, and the reason why it has a bulge in it is because the yarn is in there. Anybody else do that? Anybody else use the project as its own bag? I definitely do that when I'm working on a muscle burrow, but I also have it on a sock, and so I just stuffed it down into the bag. But there's my yarn. I'm running low. Hopefully I have about 25 more rows left before I do my toe. So I am hoping I can finish with this green before I go back to this purple in order to make the toe of this sock. This yarn is I Don't Know from I Don't Know, and it was just scraps that I had in my stash from a while ago, and I decided to make scrappy socks out of it because I had enough in order to do so, and that's what I'm doing. And that's what I will do with my leftovers as well for camp and stuff. I will do a contrast cuff and a contrast toe, and I will be able to make a sock with the yarn. And so that was just a sneak peek into what I'm doing ahead of time. I do all my socks on Magic Loop, ChowGoo Red Lace 1.5, which is a 2.5 millimeter needle. And again, I do Magic Loop by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. So her vanilla socks on Magic Loop, I should say. And then I did cast on another whip. Let me set that whip over there. That whip is nothing that I'm rushing on. It was started way back in like January, I want to say, and I'm not rushing on it. It's just whenever I have time to do so. But when I finished my Freckled Whimsy socks, I immediately went to cast on another pair of socks. And on my photo for the all the sock yarn that I had wound up for summer sock camp. The next one was actually supposed to be the Halloween yarn here from Freckled Whimsy, her Halloween club, the first one, and then I've got the second one right here. But I decided that I'm gonna hold off and I'm going to collect them all in my little Halloween bucket here from Ginger Snap. Where's her logo? Hold on. There it is. It was literally right there the whole time. From Ginger Snap Fiber Co. There's her logo. I love her bags, and this was a custom bag that she made for me. It's reversible, so I can actually turn it inside out if I wanted to, but it is the perfect Halloween bag. Look at that. Last year this supported my litmus cow that was rainbow and black, and it was absolutely perfect. But this year I think it's going to house all of the Halloween yarn that comes in. I did already cake up one, like I said, for the cast on for summer sock camp, but I think the rest of them I'm going to keep in hanks until I get them all, and then I'll cast them on. I think. I don't know. I want to cast them on, but I also want to get the whole collection and then look at them. So we'll see. For now, it's set back here on top of everything because those totes are so full of bags, and my hair is doing some crazy stuff right now. I just have all my stuff back there, and I just throw it back there and just ignore it. But back to what I was saying before. After I finished my Freckled Whimsy It's My Party rainbow socks, I wanted to cast on another pair, and so I did. And this time I cast on from Cozy Cauldron Fiber Co. I really hope that that is, there we go, I can see now. This colorway is called Paint Splatter. Oh, I almost dropped the label. It is a 75-25 in her soft sock base. This is what the colorway looks like in the cake. Look at that. So it's a white base with a whole bunch of splatter all over it, hence the name. And this is what I have knit up on it so far. I don't have very much, just the start of the cuff. I think I have like 6 or 7 rows. And yeah, that's all that I have right now. I'm really excited to see how this is going to play up the more I knit with it. But this was cast on the 19th, so just yesterday. And I'm excited to see how much I can get knit out of it before the next episode, which, if my calculations are correct, would be around the 1st. So, or the first week of July. We'll see. Because you never know when I'm going to podcast, because I'm never consistent. Thanks to summer holidays and children, because like I said, I do have 2 small children. One is 7 and one is 4. And the summer is spent just spending all of my time with them. So sometimes I podcast really late Wednesday nights. Sometimes I podcast really late Friday nights. And sometimes very randomly I get to podcast in the middle of the day on a Thursday. So most of the time though, I like to get my podcasts out on Thursday or Friday. Whenever I can. Or Tuesdays or Mondays. Sometimes Saturdays. Just whenever it strikes me. I do hope to have a more consistent schedule this fall because my son is going to be in preschool every single day of the week, and so I will have a little bit more consistency with that. So we shall see how that plays out. But that's it for all my yarny stuff. Next thing is reading and watching, so let's jump into that. For watching, we have been watching Modern Family. I think we're at the end of season 2, maybe the start of season 3, and we're really enjoying it. But I haven't been watching TV very much the past week and a half because I jumped into reading. Like I said on the last episode, I was reading ACOTAR, and I finished ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, for those that don't know the acronym. And I finished it last night, and I immediately jumped into reading A Court of Mist and Fury, or ACOMAF, if you like the acronyms. And I am 100 pages in, actually 101 pages in, And so I'm a sixth of the way through the book, and I really enjoy it. I personally prefer reading on my Kindle, so reading the physical book is what's taking me longer, but there we go. You can kind of see where I'm at. I am enjoying it. Last night was absolutely perfect. So here in Virginia, it has been getting very hot, like 90s plus. Or even if it's not 90, it's like 87, but it feels like 95, which is miserable. I hate the heat. Not a summer girly at all. But last night at about 6:45, I said, let's go outside. So me and the kids went outside and they played with chalk, and I got to sit in my chair and I got to read as the sun was setting, and it wasn't so hot that I was miserable. It wasn't so hot that they, you know, needed to drink a gallon of water or anything like that. It was really nice. The sun was setting, it was cooling off, and we got to sit outside and I got to read. And I just can't say how nice and calming it was. I haven't been able to do that in so long, because anybody with kids knows the first 5 years of their life, your main focus is making sure they stay alive. Like, them being outside, they're not without you or with another trusting adult. They don't get to just go and play unsupervised or anything like that anymore in today's world. And so, like, it was really hard for me to let go and let my kids be. But we were outside, we were playing with chalk. They were literally sitting on the steps, and it was the best moment of the day, probably of the week. It was just truly wonderful, and I'm hoping to do it again today. I'm hoping at like 6:30 after dinner time that we're gonna go outside and I'm gonna sit in my chair and I'm gonna read until about 8 o'clock, and then we'll come in, we'll do baths, and we'll try and do bedtime. It is summertime, so I am letting them stay up till about 9 o'clock, but like, I try to keep them on a regular routine with baths and stuff like that, unless we go swimming, because summertime swimming counts as bath. It just does, at least here. And we're gonna go swimming tomorrow, which will be fun. Other than that, we are going to get Disney Plus again. I am super excited about that. I have missed having Disney Plus. I miss Bluey, and I miss all the Disney movies. We did go and watch Inside Out 2 last weekend on Saturday. Our theater does a special deal where tickets are like $6 if you go before noon. So we got a really good deal on movie tickets, and so me and my daughter went and saw Inside Out 2 last Saturday morning with her little boyfriend and his mom, and it was great. It was such a good movie, and as someone with anxiety and whose favorite color is orange, I felt that. That movie really resonated with me. It was a great movie. I highly recommend seeing it, and so I'm excited to get Disney Plus again so that we can watch it again when it comes out on the streaming platform. So I'm happy for that. Plus, we also get Hulu. Excuse me. Plus, we also get Hulu, which we haven't had for 2.5 years or something like that, since we were using a friend's login. Oops. But no, we'll get that as well. So both me and my husband are excited for that, because we also like Hulu for Bob's Burgers, and also we like the Bad Boys movies are available on Hulu, and we're thinking about going and watching that movie on our next date night. So yeah, that's our life. That's all. Kind of quick and easy today. Just one finished object, 2 whips, a book, and life. But yeah, I want to say thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys in about 2 weeks. Bye.